What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. Lovely Saturday afternoon. What is it? I believe it's Juneteenth, right? Interesting. Anyway, when recognized this is a holiday. Anyway, boy, it's like 95 where I'm at, and this humidity. So yeah, we're gonna see how long we're gonna do this selling outside. So I want to make this very clear. Y'all see the title, and I'm gonna jump right in. I'm referring to the conversation I had on Kevin's channel, and I got to be better about what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start until somebody tells me to stop doing it. Start clipping out certain clips where I'm like involved in conversations. That way, it's easier for you all to get to. I'll probably put that on the Patreon, so that's not necessarily um something where I'm like getting views off of that like that. Yeah, that should be work. But I want to make this clear. Judge Dre is not somebody I'm talking about because Judge Dre is not a content creator. And Judge Dre really don't. Some of the stuff I'm going to comment on, I know he doesn't have a dog in that. So I want to be very clear here. I want to be very clear here that he's not somebody I'm referring to, just in case he comes across this. And he's not. Because I don't want what I'm saying to get muddied up. I want to be very clear in what I'm saying. So basically, people tried to quote unquote check me. They try to quote unquote hold me accountable because I basically referred to Mike Rashid's showing on Jessica X, and I said that's a video that y'all should check out. And I said that validates her being in this space. I want to say the whole thing I said so people can understand that. Now I want y'all to understand something. The channel I was on, shout out to Kev. Kev is a part of the Habitual Line Steppers. It consists of Kev, Roger, Donnie, and Danielle as well. Kev has had a Facebook group. They've had Facebook groups that was actually really, really successful, had a lot of people. And maybe it just keeps getting canceled, but it was a really good group. So I'm cool with all of them. I actually found them through BMT, ironically. And Roger's probably the one you know the most. Although Kev's channel is coming up, Kev is at about 2,500 subs. He's like at 2480. So he's coming up too. And then obviously Roger keeps getting his channel fucked up because people keep fucking with his channel. Kev had like 200, 250 viewership, and Roger regularly has 250, and he does pretty much the morning slot, when Bernard does it. So very good commentary. So any of y'all that know me, I've gone on Roger stuff because I'm interested. Roger and Kev are both in my Telegram, and there's only 20 people in my Telegram. So there's that. And so I go, I've gone to Roger stuff. Roger has great content, so it's great conversation, and I've pushed people over there because it's great conversation. And as a result, and obviously, Roger's been able to keep that stuff growing and sticking because I'm all about pushing people to great conversations, especially conversations I'm involved in. Also, he's from Chicago, I'm from Chicago, it works out. Anyway, long story short, one of the things I want y'all to say about Habitual Line Steppers is all these guys, they're different. Donnie has his own background. Kev has his own background. He's married. Roger has his own background. And even Danielle obviously has her own background. She's with Kirkland. So these are not people that can't get nobody. And I've shared, before I knew them way before I knew of what the Lapeef Show is, but I've talked to Roger in the background about the Lapeef Show and some of the kind of the similarities based on mindset. And Roger's kind of like, yeah, but I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do. But I get it. My point here is that women are not out of bounds on Roger shit. And that's why I really started pushing back at a lot of y'all that started trying to blue pill up Roger or and then they're not out of bounds on Kevin shit. That shit will be checked. And all these guys have a reputation of checking women if necessary, of checking anybody. They just don't do it in the fucking niggified way that some of y'all like to refer. And I'm not talking about my audience, but you know who I'm talking about. You know the situation. They don't do it in the rumble way that some of y'all prefer. Y'all prefer motherfuckers emptying clips on women or emptying clips on other dudes. And the reason why that shit annoys me is because what it shows me is a lot of the audience is, and I'm talking about black men now, you all are too fucking stupid to understand that we have an image that we have to protect and uphold. Because if we're seen as we are not incels, we are not like what people say, but you all feed into a lot of that shit. And you, a lot of you audience members are actually responsible for why this space doesn't grow to the extent that it otherwise could. And yeah, I'm fucking blaming y'all because the content creators do what they can get away with from the audience. And I say it in a nice way by saying you all are accountable to who you listen to. And I still stand by that. But now it's going to be starting to take that accountability. And when I talk about audience members, also talk about some of you panelists. My thing is a lot of like just like me, because I was a panelist, so I can speak from that. Shout out to BGS, shout out to before BGS, Soul and Black, shout out before Soul and Black. I used to call in to Charles Tyler, rest in peace, almost every week. And if you go back to Blog Talk, I was long-winded there too, monologue there too, and it's probably where that started because in Blog Talk you kind of had to get it in there because there was multiple people that had to call. That's why the closest thing you all get to that, if Jada Black has call-ins when you see me call, it's kind of like how that was. So I understand being kind of like an audience member or a panelist contributing. I understand it. That's where I come from. I get it. At least in this space, I get it. One of the things though, is if you want to have a channel that kind of gets your thoughts out, which is what I typically, my channel is like organized with until I change it. It's organized really around that concept. The gynocracy was something that I decided to personally push because nobody was pushing it. The reality is BGS may have started it or may have really brought it home, and he's done the research to really back it up. I give him that credit, but the truth is most motherfuckers wouldn't be talking about gynocracy if I wouldn't have hammered it so hard. They wouldn't. It's just like white supremacy. If we wouldn't have been saying white supremacy on social media, you wouldn't really hear it on you wouldn't hear it like you wouldn't hear like Nancy Pelosi and them starting to say it and shit like that. And this is not about me wanting credit. I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, even with the Highlander syndrome, I don't give a fuck about that. I want my shit I'd rather shit get out there in the masses than necessarily I have credit, because the truth is I'm creative enough that I can think of other shit. I don't worry about, I don't hold on to certain concepts because I don't have like a poverty mindset like that. I'm abundant. I know when it comes to me being able to produce ideas, I've forgotten shit that motherfuckers would think is gold. And I really need to get better about writing certain things down. So there's that. But my thing is, and BGS said it too. He said the audience, a lot of the audience members, they want a conversation that is not just dudes saying shit. That's what they want. And then a lot of them demonstrate that with their feet. And a lot of dudes, it's kind of like what happens with the business shit, where you got business owners that they want to get mad because they want to tell the customer what the customer wants. And there's certain things you can critique the customer, especially black customers on. Like if I give you what you want, you're gonna pay me a fair market price for it. You're not gonna, get a fucking discount if you're not giving me something in exchange. Niggas want discounts. Okay, can I get some referrals? What is that? Yeah, shut the fuck up. So yeah, there's legit critiques, but a lot of business owners tend to be entitled. They tend to think I don't have to market. I don't have to spend money on marketing because black people should just find me. No, motherfucker, then you get mad when other groups are able to fucking take your what you claim to be as your customer base. So it's shit on both sides, and that's gender. By the way, that's gender. That's not even like you see that in black women and black men. But going back to my point is why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I forget what the dude's name was. I don't have an issue with him. He's real passionate. But some of y'all get real too emotionally fucking invested in this shit. Y'all really do. Ultimately, you are let me tell you something, and let me be real talk. And let me tell you something BGS told me. It is not for you to put the burdens of the black community on your shoulders. It is not for you to put the burdens of the totality of black manhood as a collective group on your shoulders. All you can do is what you can do, and ultimately you are responsible for your own personal outcomes, and you're responsible for the people that invest in you and believe in you. to the extent that you have that social contract written up, whether it's kids, whether it's women that's chosen to, to follow your program, whatever, whether it's parents that invested in you early on, whatever. That's how I think. And yes, I've gotten passionate about these things. I decided to put the gynocracy and getting that promoted until, shout out to Sigma. Sigma has gone on to better things, although he does his good work when he comes around to it. Shout out to Nameless. You're starting to see other people starting to pop up that can communicate this stuff, in my opinion, probably better than I can. So it's like a fucking baton. And so eventually I'll be able to pass that baton up and more go behind the scenes and more pump money behind people or do the things that probably would have helped me accelerate certain things and shit like that. Ultimately, that's where I'm going. So even with and I'm not saying I'm gonna completely close my channel, but my channel will evolve. Like it'll evolve more into a motivation, a more of a what versus how to, and a lot of this content may get put. It's gonna be organized because I have big plans for this content. But this content may transform into other things. The content may turn into more think tank research, more for bringing up the facts. So for people that want to talk about the gynocracy, they have things that they can promote. With more like the kind of fundamental tactical things where they're just not serving. It's kind of like a vlog. And that may happen. It may happen whenever it happens. It may happen sooner. It may happen later. But, and it is what it is if you all want to be okay with that journey. But my thing is, the habitual line steppers are perfectly fine with women being on their shows. And so for a guy to come to Kevin shit, because he really don't know what Kevin is. I'm not acting like I'm an expert on Kev, but for a guy to come in on to Kev's stuff and then try to call he was trying to do it out of respect, but he was still trying to do it to try to check me. And then you got, certain people in behind him that I deal with, right? That they're trying to kind of reinforce what he's talking about. You all are on the wrong fucking channel to be doing that, because women are allowed to come on there. It's a free open zone. That's not the right channel. That's not like Ramil's channel. That's not Art of Igmore's channel. Hell, Art in the Stall isn't like that. And what it did, and the thing that really, I guess, Bob really annoys me, and PK or somebody tried to tell me, well, that's just what men do. Men impose their will. No, that's not. He didn't really understand what was being said, because we're not talking about content creators or content creators. Understand that you are a guest to somebody else's channel. People don't have to do live show. People don't have to do panels. They don't have to do that. When somebody does a panel, you are a guest and you can be removed just because it's fucking Tuesday. You can be removed for whatever reason. You saw what Solo did that to me. Even though that was on some bullshit, he still did it. The power is with the people that pull the panel. Now, people can feel whatever way they want to feel about it, but rest assured, it's not your channel. And so the thing about it is there's a difference between somebody that has a channel and they're giving opinion, and then somebody that thinks they're going to, because that's the one thing that guy said. He was saying, oh, wait, this ain't your channel. But I was like, dude, you're not even aware of the rules on this channel is. If a woman wanted to come up and have a conversation, they would be able to have a conversation, and then you wouldn't be able to just shout them down because you think they're a woman, they don't belong in this. You don't get to dictate that on channel by channel. You don't. And I'll give you a perfect example, because just to show you where we were at. And this is where I'm going to bring up Dre. It was a situation. And look, Dre, you hear Dre's woman in the background. So nobody's questioning if Dre's alpha, Dre's a man's man. He does, you hear him doing the HVAC work. Nobody's putting none of that on the table. But Dre has gone through some shit as far as like child support. He's gone through some shit I can't imagine fucking dealing with, which just more so goes into his manhood. So I understand why he's mad. Not mad, but like when he gets in that mode, why? I completely get that. I would completely get that. It was a situation. This was a while ago. It was funny because ironically, this is one of the seeds of fucking honest truth. Starting to hate the manosphere. This is the first one where he really started, and this is not Dre's fault at all. Honest Truth was just a bitch ass nigga. And this gave him an excuse to be that. But Honest Truth was on there, and it was a woman on there. And then Dre, like, I don't know what Dre was on one, whatever. Dre emptied the clip. He went from semi-auto to fully automatic on this woman. And me personally, I get what folks have been through, but I don't really care to the extent that folks think they have a right to empty clips, especially when it's unprovoked. If you're not being disrespected as a man, even if a woman is being disingenuous, there's ways for us to fence that out and root that shit out. Because a lot of times when women are being disingenuous, everybody has not been in the manosphere as long as we have. So some of them need to hear that, and they need to hear how we respond to it, other than cussing their ass out. They need to understand that there are actual questions, and if you ask them honest questions, how they dodge it, how they can't answer it, that is how you slowly move people more onto your point of view. Because I know our point of view is the right point of view because it's rooted in common sense. A lot, and sometimes I lose patience of that. That's when Sincere, like when he asked me about why are we divided, I've lost patience with that, and so I had to come back and kind of check myself on that. Because you have to understand everybody's not in the same way. Now, BGS has also stated that he don't like repeating himself, and because he's whatever fucking sign, he said once things have been said, it's been said. I can respect that. But BGS ain't cussing people out. He's just threatening people with telling them more truth, the real truth that they don't want to hear. And BGS, by the way, does a lot to talk to these young and dumb motherfuckers that really don't know shit. That they cap just as much as these chicks do. To the point where that annoys all of us. But anyway, going back to it, he, like, everybody was having a conversation, and Dre just, I get it. He got mad, and he just started, and look, I've done it too, but I pulled back. I know how to pull back from it though. And he just emptied the clip on this shit, and he was gonna keep on doing it to the point where Kev had to really step in and really get loud about it. And a lot of y'all audience members, that's what y'all be wanting to do. That's what y'all be wanting us to do. Y'all be wanting us to just cuss every bitch out. Well, I'm sorry, nigga. I don't have a lot of women on my channel, and I don't go out here looking for bitches to come on my channel. But if some of them, if they happen to find my channel, despite me titling my words or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, that's an opportunity to add that to the playlist of female conversations. If for nothing else, people can understand how I do respond when a female calls in, whether they're being disingenuous or they're speaking in good faith. So there's calculations I make that may not have nothing to do with the audience. And I generally let y'all rock in the chat, and the manosphere in generally let y'all rock in the chat. And we tell people just don't look at the chat. As long as y'all ain't saying just some crazy off the wall shit, or y'all not blocking people because y'all mad. That's another thing y'all need to stop doing. Y'all need to stop. Like, it's one thing if people are trolling, but a lot of y'all think y'all got the right. Like, I got dudes there asking me for the wrench because y'all are blocking people because y'all think y'all can. I'm gonna tell you, if I start seeing that shit, unless y'all are like heavy donators to me, you will remove. I don't give a fuck about those wrenches. I will take that shit. I don't care. That's why I only care when I give women wrenches, because I give them wrenches because it's like I'm not gonna be monitoring the chat for if y'all want to do stupid shit because y'all think y'all can. Like, I'm gonna just say it right now. This is more my channel than this is your space. So a lot of y'all, and the funny thing is, it ain't even dudes that donate. The dudes that they can actually show money. They can show that they put money up that do this. It's really a lot of y'all niggas that it's hard for y'all to even like a video. And y'all think because y'all are looking at some shit that y'all could tell somebody what the fuck is up. As if motherfuckers are really making money. Like, I don't like, I'm not making a living off of this shit. This ain't nothing for me to turn this shit off and deal with other areas of YouTube. And I always tell you all, well, I don't want to digress from that. Let me go back to the Kev thing. My point is, I respect people's channels as how they want to conduct their channels. That's why a lot of y'all wonder why I'm able to get away with doing a monologue and shit. It's because, for the most part, if these people give me a request, they don't got to do it. I generally follow what they say because I got respect for their channels. But my thing is, some of the people that Donnie and Rogers brought up, because I remember the first time I met Daphne. Me and Daphne had damn near drag out fucking fight because she wanted to get fucking loud with me. And I'm not dealing with that. See, y'all really be acting like I be bitching up in front of these females or some shit. I don't know. Like, I am who I am no matter who the fuck I'm talking to. Now, y'all may not be like that. And I'm talking about the greater manosphere audience. I ain't talking about y'all personally. You get it. But That ain't me. Just like how a lot of y'all be murmuring, shout out to Obsidian, but a lot of y'all be murmuring about what Obsidian is doing. I'm one of the few people to actually ask him to his face on a panel. And I decided to dial back on that a little bit because I mean I've already said what needed to be said. And I'm not really here to fucking dismantle what somebody's trying to do. At the end of the day, if people go along with it, they go along with it. I just pointed it out just so it can be on the record that it was said. You know, and to the point where Obsidian wants to be one to take my head off sometimes. So this idea that like I'm one of the few that'll do that. But a lot of y'all will be trying to ambush folks thinking y'all gonna intimidate me. Nigga, fuck you. At the end of the day, one of the beauties of keeping my channel small is I'm not invested. Y'all can't really do a lot of shit because y'all really don't have the ability to affect me. And honestly, y'all really don't want me to put my marketing mind up against this shit on some socialpreneur channel because I'll fucking terraform this motherfucker in a way that y'all will want to find me and y'all will just be in your feelings. Like seriously. But my point is, one of the reasons why I go to Kev and I go to Roger is because they have great conversations. Same thing with Bernard. But Bernard had Obsidian to really help boost his numbers. And I push people over there. Same thing with Charles. I was just on Dr. Tia Johnson. Or Green Gorillas and Dr. Tia Johnson. I didn't know Dr. Tia Johnson listened to me. There's a difference between going hard in the paint for the information and then having this like internal hatred. See, people love to talk about who hurt you. Nigga, a bitch never hurt me. Not to the point where I got these issues I need to. I didn't come to the red pill because I needed some shit fixed. I came to this shit because I realized the pro-black shit wasn't going to the common denominator. And there had to be something that wasn't being said. And BGS pretty much mapped out what I always thought was the case, which is a lot of folks are subsidizing shit. Like black women are really fighting for black men to subsidize their bullshit. They want to be independent while we're basically stay-at-home wives. And that is a contract that is not going to be signed. And if the price of if somebody wants to hold the black community, aka the children, hostage to that, then let the bitch burn. Because that's a choice they made. BGS said you cannot fix the black community without black women. Actually, Obsidian has said similar things. And if black women are not going to get compliant, then the black community is doomed. Now, some niggas may not want to believe that, but when I'm 65, 30 years from now, and these alphas are like, what, 5 years old now? They'll be like 30. They'll be 30. So, I mean, they'll occupy the entire dating market. So you'll see it. And by then, it'll be too late. Most black people don't have a concept of shit being too late. Anyway, my point though is the habitual line steppers. You've seen me criticize Danielle, but I can also have a conversation with Danielle too. And the thing is, she's a part of them. That's what they chose to do. So women are not like a no-fly zone. So a lot of y'all came to his shit, to his zone, because they do their own thing more than they're a part of the manosphere. And everybody has a right to do that. And so when people try, this is why people want to say, well, I got excited and I got mad. I got mad because you all, quite frankly, were speaking out of your station. You all were basically trying to impose your will. They wanted to be nice about it. But had a woman been on there and y'all would have pulled that shit, y'all would have got shut down and y'all would have been mad because he would have had to make a choice. What is the principles of his show, or what is it that y'all want to do? And ultimately, dudes are going to choose to do what they want to do, not know, oh, well, they're going to let some other man impose some shit on it. So my point is, the other dude that came up and he was trying to say, how could you mention Jessica X and stuff like that? I wasn't on Ramil's panel doing that. I wasn't on Art of Igmore because Art of Igmore said he don't want women on there, and I respect that. I was on their shit where that shit is sexy. Now, people can feel however they want to feel about Jessica. I don't care. Because I've always told you all, if you any of you all that want to talk about that she's this, she's that, send me the clips. Send me the clips. And I'm not saying it because I don't hear it, because I don't listen. I listen to Jessica's stuff like, you know, if it's something interesting over there, if the algorithm shows me, but I'm not over there every time she goes live. Why do you think I don't never get the opportunity to go up? Like, she's the only panel I'm always like misfiring on getting on. It's because I don't really have the timing as far as when she drops the links and stuff down. Unlike I have with everybody else, because I'm not over there like that. Why do you think I'm not always in some shit? And I'm not trying to bring up other YouTubers, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, they always own some shit. Why do you think my channel hasn't been fucked with? Because for the most part, I keep my channel insular. I don't really cross. It's not, I don't really deal. It's one thing of me sharing videos, but I don't really deal in kind of the fuckery when it comes to certain women. Not saying just as a part of that, but I keep myself 1 degree of separation from that. She's that 1 degree. Because on the other side is a lot of that other bullshit. Just like Fantastic is that 1 degree. They're like those wall channels. Game Changer is that 1 degree. And so typically you'll see me engage with them, but you won't typically see me take that step next. BMT used to be that 1 degree. And that was when I went to the other side. And then I realized, okay, I need to keep that wall. That's why you typically don't see me in shit like that. So my thing is, anyway, my bad if some of y'all cashed after me. Let me shout out to Blur for the $5 cash app. So my thing is, a lot of y'all, I was getting mad because it was kind of like, and I know they were letting them rock, but really y'all were out of y'all station because women are allowed to be on their panels. That's the rules that they set. So I wasn't out of turn. Y'all was out of turn. They just didn't want to say it because they didn't want to blow shit up because the viewership was going up and up and up because we now had a channel. And even BGS acknowledged that. They're going to be different. That's the beauty of the manosphere. There are going to be different conversations. And here's another thing I want to be real clear about too. You know, a lot of people like to invoke other YouTubers. I do that. But at the same time, I stand on what the fuck I say. And I say, this is what I'm saying. Now, I may give you certain things to back it up, but a lot of y'all need to stop invoking, because a lot of shit y'all backing up be some of the, like, first of all, there are certain black men that are against, I'm gonna bring it up, angry man. I'm just gonna say it. And it is people, if people want to get mad, some of you bitch ass to go, oh, you talk about you, blah, 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 whatever. I'm about to say it. Angry man is a proponent for long-term relationships. Angry man has been through a lot when it comes to child support, a lot of fuck shit. Angry man has done the stepfather thing. Angry man has a lot of power because he can speak, a lot of the stuff he can speak from, he's speaking from tangible experience. And that's kind of like his calling card on a lot of this stuff. I've been through this shit, so what I say is for you to avoid it. It gives value to his experience, which is a legitimate organic value add. I'm not debating that. But my thing is, when you try to invoke, a lot of y'all have y'all heroes. And the reality is, look, man, I have people I respect. So I'm not like trying to say I'm different. But my thing is, I know how to like stand on what the fuck I say and not try to act like, oh, well, there's certain progenitors that run the manosphere. Whether it's Angry Man, whether it's O'Shea, I do what the fuck I do. I don't agree with everything O'Shea say either. But I understand at the end of the day, he's running a business too. So I know how to kind of let certain things lie. You know, but Angry Man deals in long term. He talks about long term because he understands that black men want to be in long term relationships. How can you hold your frame but still get that? Because the relationships are part of quality of life. Now, is he sitting there advocating for marriage? No. But he also talks about things like common law stuff. Like, he actually presents solutions. Now, he has his problems just like all a lot of these other niggas do, because none of us are perfect. But he presents solutions. Now he'll check a chick. He made because he did commentary on Bernard's thing about Bernard having that female on there. Well, Bernard can run his channel the way he wants to run it ultimately, and ultimately, you know, because Bernard's been through some things. I had no idea he went through what he went through when it comes to religion. With shit, him and Angry Man and Bernard on that would be on a religion channel would be an interesting combination. Knowing what we now know about Bernard and his relationship with Christianity. Which I give him a lot of credit for pointing that out. But that stream y'all saw, Jessica X was on that stream. And they were doing some singing shit. That was Friday. My point is, some of y'all get way too invested in some of this shit, and y'all become like foot soldiers. Foot soldiers, where y'all start like hating on motherfuckers because or whatever your leader is doing, you all want to do. Like I comment on that with Tommy all the time. But the thing is, there's a lot of people that will try to come at Angry Man saying, well, he shouldn't, he shouldn't be telling black men to get with black women at all, or he shouldn't be talking about any of that shit because you know what, these bitches are these bitches. There's people that would say that. You got dudes like shout out. I fuck with spiritual, but you got dudes that if anybody say anything about marriage, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to convince dudes to get married. There's dudes that want to get married. This is what Georgia Boy and Gab is always critiquing about. You got dudes like spiritual, Zero. Oh, y'all trying to sell these niggas down? No, these niggas already want to buy it. So I can give them all the information, but if they see the information and still want to do it, that's a choice. And you got to respect them as a man to make it. This is why Georgia Boy, Gab, and others try to accuse us to be anti-marriage. I'm not anti-marriage. I'm pro-choice. Now, if you're going to ask me what I think about marriage, the laws are fucked up. The laws are not really conducive to marriage. It's not. And I can factually prove that. And the culture is not. I can factually prove that. Now, if you still want to do it, sure, that's on you. I'm not one of these people you married. I'm sitting there trying to convince them to get a divorce. I don't even think Fantastic does that. But people are going to give their opinion. But you all feed into that when you all sit there and y'all get like real zealot like on stuff. And so you all want to control what other niggas are doing. And I'm here to tell you, fuck you motherfuckers. Like straight up. And to be fair, the dudes that actually JB gave me a $50 super chat, shout out to him, because I take that as a confirmation that he understood what I was trying to say. Because what I said, I know I'm jumping around with panels, but I was on Bernard shit and David was being obnoxious, but really fucking up the conversation. When I said JB was the issue, not Mike Rashid, what I meant was JB is the problem that is worth solving. What does that mean? You have guys that they agree with us in principle, but there are certain details they have concerns about, and it is on us in order for us to be able to iron out those details. And you have newer people coming into this space, and you have to be able to game them up. Now, part of that is answering some of these basic questions and pointing them to the videos. I mean, I literally just saw a video where Robert Kiyosaki pretty much acknowledged the red pill. Where as much as Angry Man is likes Trump, he would actually like to see this clip because he was talking about Trump too, because he brought in a lot of alpha and shit into it too. Now I can see why he wanted that clip private. He basically acknowledged everything we were talking about. Everything we were talking about from a general standpoint. And he did that on Fresh and Fit, and he was saying that to Rolo and also Fresh. It's like a 3-minute, 4-minute clip, and it's an audio, but you know it's him. So my point is, JB. Anyway, I know I'm jumping around. JB acknowledged that that I understood what he was talking about, and that you have to address that. But we got a lot of y'all want to play Clubhouse. And y'all want to try to control what people do in the club, and some of y'all don't want to create channels. I respect why some of y'all don't. That's cool. But my point is, ultimately, y'all can have y'all opinions, but people are gonna do what they're gonna do. And then, I've talked to Ty City about this. We were talking the new manosphere, and everybody wants. It's like some of y'all just need to see y'all way the fuck out, because y'all are just gonna be angry. Y'all are just gonna be mad. I'm just gonna say it like that. Y'all are just gonna be mad, and people want to talk about the commercialism in this space. Yes, but I was here before that, and so I'm doing pretty much the same thing I was doing before that. So the thing about it is, a lot of y'all have this thing where y'all want to protect men from women. Men have to deal with women, and if y'all want to be kind of weak and like to the influence of women, well, them niggas are gonna be suckers. The ones that can rise past that are gonna rise past that. Motherfuckers talk about women are infiltrating this space. It's only like 4 females in this space. Danielle, Concrete, Kendra, which everybody she's sanctioned, and Jessica X, which Jessica X is like what 50-50. And Jessica and a lot of y'all are just mad because black men made a decision to listen to her and the conversation she's having. Y'all need to be mad at them niggas. Y'all need to be mad at them. Oh man, dudes can't super chat over here, but they can super chat for a woman. Well, y'all need to address them dudes. It ain't her fault. That's like y'all being mad. Oh, dude, you can't invest in this knowledge, but you go to OnlyFans. Like, that's them. They can do what they want to do with their money. But you're not gonna shame dudes into not doing that because you don't even have access to them like that. And another thing is people don't even understand that like even with Jessica, because Fantastic gets this too. Like Jessica could actually attract other dudes to the space. There's a reason, like on ESPN, they brought a cute chick there. Now people will say, "Oh, I don't know what I look like." Whatever, the effect is the same. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why when commercials were pointed at men, there was attractive women applied to it. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why in Latin America they always got a cute chick doing the weather. And the thing about it is, and she's always the only one niggas want to really bring up. And so, but then they want to talk about is this whore or where they're learning. Oh, they're learning, so they learn what to say. Well, you know what? The niggas is gonna get got is gonna get got. Because honestly, a lot of these dudes that want to play social network on YouTube or they want to find bitches to talk to on YouTube. You notice I don't conduct myself like that for the most part, and I stay out of trouble. Dudes want to roll that dice and run that risk despite getting bit. Well, what happens happens, and I've always pointed that out. You know, always. But one of the things that I'm always mindful of is our message will get stifled if we're seen as we hate women. Because we really don't. We just call them on their bullshit. And this idea where the dudes are like so petrified, like I'm listening to some of the shit the Six Goddess is saying, shit Anton says. That's the main thing they want to tag us with. And some of y'all care more about being a clubhouse than y'all actually care about getting a message out. That's why a lot of y'all feel a certain type of way about Kevin. You got dudes that they make enough money that they can invest in advertising to manually grow their channels. They can invest in advertising. They can invest in shout outs. They could go to Instagram and pay. Shout outs are actually not that expensive. They could pay for that shit. They don't. They rather politic. And then they get upset when dudes are networking with other people. Like you think O'Shea, you think I like the fact that O'Shea is cool with Paris? I don't get that. But at the end of the day, I understand the relationship standpoint of it. And you're not gonna get everything that you want. And is it really that big of a deal? And some of y'all be this shit be living rent free in your minds, and it ain't that serious. This is why some YouTubers don't even stay in this space like that, like Jada Black and shit, because people are gonna do what they want to do, and if y'all think y'all gonna impose y'all will on people, that shit's not gonna end well. It's just not for you. It's really not. Just like how motherfuckers felt some type of way when people were starting to do more trending content. And it doesn't matter that stuff made money because people were interested in that commentary. People want to talk about, oh, well, you ain't doing what this space was originally intended. Some of y'all need to chill the fuck out with that. Y'all really do. Because a lot of y'all, that leads to a lot of hatred and a lot of anger. I mean, you know, I fuck with MOT. MOT is one of the few dudes who's got my phone number. But like, and I get, you know, why MOT might have felt, I get why he got mad at what BGS said, but I mean, everybody knows what BGS brought to this space. And some of the shit that he's put out when he's put out with his own family, some of the hits he's took. But then now, it was the same thing when I defended MOT when Cerulean tried to, you know, discredit his military service. He tried to discredit MOT just because MOT was getting military contracts. Like some of y'all be going off the fucking rails, and then y'all think y'all holier than thou, and y'all are so right. And please, none of y'all are Jesus Christ, black Jesus, white Jesus, whatever Jesus. None of y'all are that. And some of y'all need, and Jason, and that's one thing that annoyed me about Jason Black. Some of y'all need to drop that megalomania shit. which is actually another term for having narcissism. Y'all really need to look in the mirror and say, fuck you, nigga, you ain't shit either. Some of y'all need to do that at least once a week. So ultimately, you know, like I said, I got mad. I was getting annoyed because you all were in a channel group that really I was well within the rules. You all were the ones that were off base, not me. And Kev let it rock, but I was in the right. Y'all sitting there trying to talk to me or talk me down like I'm some fucking kid about you know the reasons. I know there's nothing you're gonna tell me I don't know and I have not considered as far as black men and their relationship to women. Some of the shit I'm the main one that's pushed, and I've sacrificed the growth of my channel to keep it as 100 as I could. That's why nobody can tell me I'm fucking commercial. And I put a lot of time, I put hours into this shit. I put a lot more time than, quite frankly, I should. And I ain't getting the fucking money out of it like that. And I don't do it for the money. But ultimately, it is effective. When you hear from Kevin is proving anything, he's proven it is effective. These dudes hearing it from the horse's mouth. And I am loyal to what is effective. If some of you niggas don't know how to handle yourselves around a bitch, I'm sorry. Some of you niggas need to just accept that you're cucks and just be that and cut the bullshit. Because I'm going to be real with you. I give zero fucks about some of you niggas and your mommy issues and your inability to actually look at a chick that might be attractive and still be like, you look good, but you still full of shit. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I really don't. So when dudes try to come at it from a point of view of, well, we need to protect men from women because that's how men are, then y'all niggas are just gonna be in the gynocracy. So I don't care, because the truth is, there is, like, YouTube is a virtual construct. There is no situation where you're going to be able to consistently keep men separate from women. So be like, well, we need to build away from women. Well, then it's going to be, okay, are you going to sell to women, or do we need to also only sell to men? Okay, well, we know how men are when it comes to buying shit. This is why I keep telling y'all think that the manosphere is going to be built on super chats and cash apps and that's it. That's not true. Black men need to create their own economic ecosystems. But that requires a certain level of insight that a lot of black men are not willing to go. This is where your anti-self-improvement, all that bullshit comes in. And you have to be able to meet those objections and be able to take them out. And a lot of dudes, y'all want to build y'all channels. Some of y'all want to build y'all channels off the bat that y'all want, oh, well, niggas are just going bitch. Like, I really have no time for that. Because honestly, the way I see it, the reason why I really get pissed off about some of that, especially from some of y'all, because some of y'all, those are MGTOW talking points, and we've already had this conversation. And I was on the side to promote MGTOW, and that shit got wiped out. And so a lot of y'all want to be MGTOW without actually holding the moniker, because y'all know what type of arrows that's going to come with. And I don't really respect the fact that y'all want to kind of double dip that way. Y'all want to play MGTOW games, but then y'all don't want to take the heat of how black men are going to judge you for that. That's my issue. And so another thing too, and I want to make this very clear, niggas want to talk about, oh, you promoting niggas. Look, man, I can't control what the audience does. So if dudes want to hear it from a woman's point of view, that's your gripe with the audience. You believing YouTube has an algorithm. It really doesn't matter what somebody promotes or not promotes. If the algorithm detects that a certain audience wants a certain type of content, the algorithm is going to find a way to provide them with that content. So this idea that dudes want to be like, oh yeah, man, now that this shit is commercially viable, other people are now able to make money. Motherfucker, it's called YouTube. Everything was built on what came before. And that's in a lot of different niches. Nigga, I remember the first Let's Play channel. It was literally called Let's Play. And that's one of YouTube. That's what YouTube competes with Amazon when it comes to Twitch. That's one of YouTube's cornerstone of their business. That's one of the few niches YouTube don't get stupid on. So everything was built, and that's what what's the call was trying to say. And I told him I understood that. So when you all think because what you think you've done, and some of y'all to be saying that don't even have a right to say that. Because I've mentioned the content creators are really responsible for enhancing the super chats. I said Jap, Angry Man, BGS to a BGS, O'Shea. I've given the content creators only like Obsidian. It's like I even throw Kevin. It's like maybe a handful of content creators is really responsible for really building up the super chat part in this space. And yeah, so if they say some shit, you know, they got a right to say it. But a lot of y'all new niggas that y'all were able, I know motherfuckers that y'all, some of y'all are clearing like $300, $500 when y'all do a show, and y'all had zero to do with that being there. And that's cool because they're dudes. But then some of y'all, if a chick does it, y'all want to get mad. At the end of the day, that's their decision to do that. And y'all could bitch and cry, but that's what you all are doing, bitching and crying. Because ultimately, the way I look at this stuff long term is the way I see it is, oh, but they're making money pandering. Well, you know what? The part is, if you have a female saying a lot of the talking points, taking Jessica X off of it. Let's talk about somebody like Avery Woodley, who by the way ain't getting all of this views and shit that y'all want to talk about. If you got women, if you create an economic incentive for women to tell men what basically are talking points, that makes it a lot harder for a lot of these women that hate men to do what they do. Part of the reason why feminism is so powerful is because there's the economic culture is behind it. But see, a lot of y'all don't think long term enough to really understand that. You all are just as short term thinkers as these bitches are. And also, I don't fear the manosphere is not going to be destroyed or infiltrated. The manosphere has been through worse. Like y'all be talking about the manosphere has been infiltrated and all this other bullshit. The reality of the situation is the manosphere has been through a hell of a lot worse. And the manosphere has been restarted. The manosphere was damn near destroyed at 1.0. We've never come close to that. And it was restarted from there. And it's never come anywhere close to that at all. Even with that list shit. And we have people come and go. And then a lot of y'all want to act like that a lot of these female channels are really offshoots from the manosphere. That's actually not true, because women are on social media a hell of a lot more than men are. So that's not true. But y'all like to inflate your own self-importance. The black manosphere is an extremely small part of YouTube. Like it is an extremely small part of black YouTube, which means there's a lot of growth potential. And if certain dudes try to go for it, I'm telling you right now, especially if it's me, I'm telling you right now, y'all can kiss my ass and go to hell. Because I'm telling you straight up, if I ever decide to economically merge some things, because I have some ideas, and somebody fucks with my money, I swear to God, I will reach through this fucking phone and make your life a living hell. I mean that. I mean that. I will reach through this fucking internet and it's gonna hurt. It really is. And I'm saying that nice because I don't want y'all really, because it's really not that serious. And I believe in the mission. But some of y'all, I think y'all do a lot of shit because y'all think y'all can't get reached. Like when shout out to Dre, but when Dre was talking about that, oh, well, somebody think, oh, well, you can dot somebody and do that. Yeah, you can do that. You put a case on somebody, civil suit, and you can sustain that, then they really gonna be mad. Like, I don't believe in escalation like that. When niggas just believe, nah, people know what right and wrong. People know. I don't believe in that. Where people just say, well, this is normal to me. Nah, people know what rules are and what ain't rules. They know when they're stepping over. So anyway, I just wanted to make that clear, abundantly clear. You know, there's certain channel groups are gonna do what they do. You all can vote with your feet. If you don't like it, fucking leave. I appreciate people that watch me, but shout out to Dante S because he didn't like that I talked about women all the time, so he unsubscribed. But he does listen from time to time. I respect him for doing that. And I know he unsubscribed because he told me that he was unsubscribing. I didn't care, but it was what it was. I do what I do. That's what I do. And I have no problem defending what I do. But what's going to stop happening is motherfuckers think they can come on panels and think they could challenge me on what the fuck I do on my own fucking channel. And then use the manosphere as this like declaration. People fuck with me because they fuck with me, not because they think I'm a part of the manosphere. People that donate to me, not because they're paying their manosphere taxes, because they like what I am saying. So invoking the manosphere as this like thing, a lot of y'all ain't even got a right to say that, because y'all ain't even involved with really building that shit. Or y'all wasn't involved. Certain people can say that. Like, I get Dre saying that. But there was other people on that panel, you know, it's like, dude, you doing too much. You just got here. Shout out to Smurgo. What's the point of Kevin now dismantling the gynocracy by removing the men and negotiating with the gynocracy by presenting high value stepdads for black women? Smurgo, shut the fuck up, because that's not accurate. Okay, I appreciate your $5, but for real, a lot of y'all like, and Smurgo, you the type of dude that you'll sit there and validate Love Dorsey. See, this that kind of contradiction that a lot of people get annoyed by. My thing is this: Kevin said, and I listen to Kevin. I'm actually a part of Kevin said I finally joined his membership so I could comment. Kevin had never promoted stepfatherism amongst black men. I do not know what the fuck you're talking about when you say that. That's number one. Number two, Kevin talks about marriage as a mechanism of upward mobility in corporate America. Other than that, he is speaking for his clients that want to be fucking married. It is not for you to fucking understand it. Just like how it's not for motherfuckers to understand why you like Love Dorsey. So stop saying inflammatory shit that's not true. I've always said I don't care about it bashing if it's accurate. What you're saying is not accurate, and that's the problem I have with what you're saying. Stop doing that. That's what the bitches do. Do not do that. Be accurate. I'm not even saying you gotta listen to Kevin. I'm just saying. And like, that's not accurate. That's a lie. What you just said was a lie. And one thing we're gonna be in my space, we're gonna tell the truth. We're gonna say what it is, or we're gonna prove what we're talking about. You ain't never heard Kevin talk about on some boys watching shit that black men should be stepfathers. And Kevin is always about black men getting the best deal, whether it's high value or solid dudes. I'm gonna stop saying average men. We're gonna start saying solid men. Because if you average in the United States and you a black man, then by definition you're above average, because you have all of this wind in your face. Your own women are against you. So for you to be average means you got to be above average just to be that. So we're going to start using the terminology solid dudes. So high value dudes and solid dudes. But no, that's not true. So, and that's what I'm saying. That's emotional. It's not true. He's never said that. I've listened to Kevin since Kevin had 40,000 subs. And I used to, because he used to talk about sales and shit. And I needed to learn how to use cologne. Really use it. Quiet as it's kept. So he ain't never said that. We gotta stop lying on people and thinking that shit's okay. Just like how you had motherfuckers that sat there. O'Shea had to put his dad on there because people were trying to, accuse him of shit. That is beyond fucking effeminate. Doing that and going along with that. Because understand, I don't gotta like people, but I'm not about to lie on people either. That's not what I do. And some of y'all think that shit's cool because y'all think it's justified. A lot of y'all need to fucking check yourselves, because a lot of y'all participate in the same effeminate energy y'all like to talk about. And I'm not trying to beat you up, Smurgo. I'm just saying, like I said, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I full of shit? All right. Death Racer, BMT don't know either he's with this space or not. BMT is his own person, and it is what it is. Hanamachi, Angry Man roasted Bernard. Angry Man, I mean, that don't mean shit. Angry Man's roasted. Angry Man is roasted Obsidian. Bernard will be all right. And I find and Bernard will be all right. And I don't think he quote unquote roasted him. I mean, it may have been harsh, but Angry Man, which harsh does mean uncalled for. And I do think it's uncalled for. But at the end of the day, Bernard is a newer channel. Bernard is going to speak to a different audience that Angry Man may speak to. His channel is at a different evolution than Angry Man's is. But Bernard has been through divorce. Bernard has been through, losing religion. Bernard is very much aware of, questioning things and coming to an awakening. Is that the best person for that? Maybe not. But you know what? That video may not be for manosphere people. It may be for people to attract an audience. But y'all don't think about that because ultimately y'all don't care. Y'all care about what y'all want. What's up, Soul Provider Speaks? What's up, Leo Anthony? Dardar. If these marriage laws are fixed and more equal, I guarantee more black men will get married. Absolutely. Absolutely, they would. And black men not getting married, which means black men are not having kids. And child, just like how the child support laws are main reason black men are not having kids like that. This is why the women can only get babies out of the 18% of black men. And that has been just as detrimental to the population of black community as the abortion rate. Scott Haywood, hard R. Shout out to good men. People stay lying on Kevin Samuels because he doesn't agree with MGTOW. He has acknowledged MGTOW and SYSBM multiple times. He has asked the women if she would be okay with her son coming home with the non-black woman. Absolutely. And Kevin doesn't have to. It's not that Kevin doesn't agree with it necessarily, but Kevin doesn't agree that that's like the main place it needs to go, because Kevin has always been more talking to an exclusive group of black men. And when I say exclusive group, I'm not necessarily talking about necessarily high value men that make money. I'm talking dudes. He talks more to the individual situation. And Donovan Sharp doesn't like MGTOW, but that doesn't mean they're pro sell the store. It's kind of like when you make a trade and you make a bad trade. They said one of the worst trades to ever be made was when Dallas Mavericks acquired Dirk Nowitzki. It was another player that they got from the New Orleans Hornets, and that was one of the most lopsided trades in history. Looking back on it, it was Trucker something or I forget, but Kevin has never been an advocate for that, to the point where every woman said he hates women. So I don't understand. He literally built his channel on telling women about themselves. So when people say that, I don't like you got to make that make sense. And you can only do that in an emotional state. So Kevin has been a lot more easier on MGTOW because he said MGTOW is definitely a threat as far as to these women. And he will invoke that, saying that, he's even invoked the option that a lot of these dudes are just choosing to opt out. And he don't judge him for that. He just said that's a choice, and that's on y'all as women to solve that, not on him as men to shame other men. Now, if men are asking him for how to have better outcomes, he's going to tell you what he thinks you should do, and that's when he starts telling you that you need to just build yourself up. But he doesn't use that as a way to give women a pass. And a lot of y'all do, there's a lot of other things that's involved in a lot of what y'all say. Like a lot of y'all like to use those things as like front men, but y'all have certain feelings that y'all don't want to be honest about as far as why y'all say what y'all say. Shot gaming channels carry YouTube for a couple of years. They absolutely did. Love Natrell. What's up? Devontae Smirgo. Like I told y'all, and I've always told y'all on my channel personally, when it comes to black women, I don't deal with black women that don't know how to act. Understand, I learned something very early. Is being short. Like if motherfuckers are not gonna respect me, I don't need to be around you. And I respect me don't mean you necessarily want to fuck me, but if there's no bad benefit to the relationship or anything like that, I don't need to waste my time. A lot of black men don't have a sense of time value, and they don't take account for that. No. If people want to deal with me, they'll come to me. Now, am I like that as a default? No. But if I see that I'm not getting fruits for time invested, I pay attention to that to everything. Anyway, that shit is actually dope. Good man, what do you think about it, good or bad? Okay, yeah, pretty good. I don't know what y'all talking about. What's the talk about what's the point? Like gaming channels pave the way, no doubt. Yeah. Kevin proves our points by allowing these jackals. Exactly. And that's way more effective and way more time efficient than black men constantly saying shit. Because a lot of these dudes, like I can tell you right now, Kevin is probably more responsible for red pilling more niggas than any of these any single one YouTuber. tell me I'm lying just by letting these women talk. What's up, man code? Kevin is basically free advertising. Exactly. But y'all can't think past y'all own feelings about a person. Yep, they put all the blame on Obsidian for the flagging. Well, it was Obsidian's fault. The problem is ultimately Obsidian got a pass because ultimately people saw that as an opportunity and we believed we could overcome it. And at the end of the day, it ultimately became a more of a benefit than it was a hindrance. And I'll give Obsidian credit for that too. So that's why nobody never really comes to this. Even when people beef with Obsidian, nobody never really brings that up because ultimately people saw that as a benefit as it was happening. And to be fair, Obsidian had the support of most black men with how Obsidian ran his channel before. I would argue he had more support than what he does now. Because a lot of y'all like that hardcore go after these chicks, take their head off shit. So I'm not gonna act like people didn't back up what Obsidian was doing. They absolutely did, and I'm talking about audience members as well as content creators. I'm good, man. I know why Kevin doesn't promote SYSB on his channel now, but has he ever supported it? Yes. Kevin asks women, does it have to be a black man you deal with? Kevin cares more about the ultimate outcome than he cares about the race. He has his preferences on race, but he cares. And by the way, everybody doesn't have to be a card carrying SYSB member. Dennis Sperling is a card carrying SYSB member. That's so no. And Kevin always threatens black women with, well, dudes are gonna replace you. Smargo, it's very clear you don't listen to Kevin, so I don't know why you're speaking on somebody you don't really listen to. If I had 1 million to donate to a black man, so who do I go to? Edward Anderson. If you had 1 million, I got to think about that. I wouldn't say one person. I'd have to think about that. Personally, I wouldn't give it to a YouTuber. If somebody had $1 million, but this doesn't require $1 million, probably the best thing that we could do is create a page, like an Instagram page or something, a page that could constantly produce traffic that then other YouTubers can get put on. And $1 million's not required to do that. Not even 100,000 is required to do that. But I wouldn't give it to one YouTuber. That's what I would do with it. Now it's about the money. Now it's about the money. It's not a money. The commercial shit has always been a part of it because it's YouTube. If it wasn't about the money, then people would just be on forums and stuff. But the thing about it is, it's a difference between it being about the money. And a lot of y'all see, this is what a lot of y'all like to do that. This is what I found. I found that people like to bring up the money argument in order to invalidate what somebody's saying, because they don't have a better way of doing it. Versus we live in a capitalistic country. Everything is driven by commercialism. And yes, money, the question is, to what degree is what somebody's doing motivated by the money? That's the real question. And the way you deal with that is by giving a true analysis and pressing what somebody is saying. If the shit doesn't make reasonable sense, if you take the money out of the equation, then that means the money most likely is motivating what people are saying. Now, also another thing too, it's not about talking points and narratives. It's also about motivating how certain people go after others. O'Shea has been accused of messing with channels because of super chats. A lot of people, so that money thing, you got to be careful with that, because a lot of people use commercialism as a way to try to prove they're right. But see, they're cool with the money when it comes to something you agree with. It's just like what they say with Kevin when they say he's divorced, but people that they listen to are multiply divorced as well. My point is, y'all be wanting Kevin to be a flagship for your personal worldview. That's not how that works. A lot of y'all need to stop being lazy, and if y'all want that, y'all need to invest in that. Stop expecting people to be flag. I don't expect nobody to be flagship for the gynocracy. I decided to roll up my sleeves and push it to the best of my ability. He said MGTOW Fairy is not having kids and getting married. Yeah, he has said that, but he has said that before. But what he has also acknowledged that there are people checking out and going MGTOW in relationship to women. So Kevin is not constantly battering ram saying that MGTOWs are failures, and unless you're giving, there's a difference between saying MGTOWs are failures and then also saying that you should just get married to get married. A lot of y'all draw those two conclusions, and those are not necessarily they don't correlate as closely as y'all like to act like. Okay, he gives advice to single mothers. What does that mean? Those are the ones that he calls. Smurgo. Like the way you be talking where all single mothers need to just be have their throat slit and executed. That's really the way you talking, straight up. And I know that sounds extreme, but these are women it calls him. What do you expect Kevin to do? You expect Kevin to say, "Let's keep it real. So Love Dorsey don't have kids by Love Dorsey ain't with the original nigga." What are you talking about? Love Dorsey gives advice to single mothers. What are you talking about? Giving advice to single mothers ain't like he giving a cheat code to how to get a simp. Kevin said that if you want a guy to be a stepfather, you're gonna probably have to give more to that man than what you would give a biological father because he's making a sacrifice. What the fuck are you talking about? Like people need to stop doubling down on stupid. Like Smirgo, this is the same dude that said that Love Dorsey saved my life. You see how that don't square? It's very clear you like Love Dorsey, you don't like Kevin. It's very obvious. But you can't even see the bias in your own talking points. You don't like Kevin, you don't identify with Kevin because Kevin is not the archetype of black man you like. Fine. Say that, be done with it. But don't bring up all this other bullshit. It's very clear you like the ratchet. You like the ratchet. That's fine. But don't sit there and try to put up all this other bullshit like that's not the truth. Stop doing that because you're being disingenuous. No, you're not, Smirgo. You're not right. You're not right. You right because you think you right, but you're not. But and this is why Kevin be cussing out these females. It's all overwhelming fact that you still want to be right. That's some effeminate shit. But whatever. So is Love Dorsey. So what are you talking about? Shout out to Maurice for the $5. Like, and that's the thing that annoys me. A lot of y'all, again, I've said it on this channel before, and I'm gonna say it again. A lot of y'all look at, do I like this person, and then y'all filter everything through either I like them, I don't like them. The true facts of the matter is not there. So you keep saying, well, he's trying to save the community. He's trying to do that. Okay, okay. So what does that mean? So you mean in order to save the black community, Kevin's anti-black male? Is that what you're saying? Like, dude, I'm not gonna keep on going back and forth because right now you're talking dumb, like for real. Like Spurgo, real talk. I don't need a bitch to hit me with a fucking 4x4 in order for me to realize that women are a threat. So some of y'all need to fucking check yourselves, and y'all want to be right just to be right. And that shit ain't gonna work. That shit ain't gonna work with y'all in life because the world takes advantage of people that think like that. The man in spirit does not have to be perfect and free. That's unreasonable and unrealistic. Absolutely, LAR. And you know, LAR, you got probably more respect. You got just as much respect as anybody, the top dogs, if not a little bit more. I hope you speak on this because these motherfuckers be talking stupid, yo. They really do. A lot of them, like they want them. It's like, and these be the main ones that don't even be donating no money too, to be talking all this bullshit. They don't even be liking the videos like that. They acting just like fucking black customers. They want shit to do what the fuck they want to do, but they don't want to go to the white side and do that. They want to claim ownership of stock they ain't bought. It's like y'all walking into Disney and y'all telling them what the fuck they should do with Black Panther and T'Challa. Because that's a thing going around too. Folks are upset because of Disney deciding whatever they're gonna do with because of Chadwick Boseman. Which is, yeah, Dardar, which is normal. That's the truth. You are. They are. But it's like, oh, so basically what y'all want Kevin to say is you're a single mother, you need to die alone. Well, at the end of the day, if black men choose to deal with a single mother, that's their choice. They have a right to make the choice. I'm not now, is that what they should do? They have better options, but they have a right to make the choice. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of these dudes can't say that because then they got to stand on that. I mean, do you really think that Kevin, who do you think has black men's best interest? Like, honestly, do you really think that Love Dorsey has black men's best interest, or do you think that Kevin does? Do you, like, seriously, if you really had to pick Smurgo? I'm curious as to your question on that. Answer on that. Shout out to LAR movement. Make sure y'all subscribe. LAR should be one of the biggest YouTubers in this space. All y'all can go to hell for the fact that he ain't. One thing about LAR is every the videos, the way LAR makes his videos, there is no reason why LAR shouldn't have the most shares in this space. The way LAR delivers his information, the way he gives his information, LAR actually had the largest library of anybody in the manosphere, bar none, at like 3,000 videos. There is no reason why LAR should not have at least 100,000 subs. His stuff should be shared. If mediocre tutorial and reviews can be where he is, LAR definitely should be where he is. Point blank. Boyce has black men's interests. Ha, that's funny. Smurgo says the thing about Love Dorsey is she got with a high earning Pookie. She didn't try to upgrade to a square. Love Dorsey stays in her lane. Kevin tries to bring Strax educated brothers. That's actually a lie. That's not true. That's a lie. Nigga, shut up. You need to check out LAR Movement. LAR Movement is like one of the most oldest G's in this space. I mean, yeah, you want to win an argument, just let these niggas talk. They'll beat themselves. You share Art Kathy. Art Kathy be cussing these females out too. I mean, she's definitely pro woman, but Art Kathy's more on the Anna Van Zam side of the game. Art Kathy will check women too. Yeah, man, Cole, they do. And then I'm sitting here arguing. At this point, I gotta ask myself why. And I appreciate Smurgo. Smurgo does donate. But Smurgo know what time it is. He was on BGS talking that rappers are more valuable than NBA players. Smurgo's in his own world. I tell you, he should start a channel called Smurgo's World. He gets some views. Well, that's true for black women too. They're projecting when they say that, K dot. Because at the end of the day, when you look at divorce court, you know, women divorce. That's not a commentary on black women and black men. And another thing too is that doesn't mean shit. They, of course, they're gonna say that. They're gonna say that because they're invested in black men staying. If they really believed that, they would just let it happen. So again, I don't know. Yeah, Kevin is at 978, so he's got 22 thousand more subs to go to get to 1 million. 10 days. I mean, you know, a lot of them do that, and once, like, I've heard a lot of black women say that, or I've heard that sentiment expressed on social media. That's how you know that they're not talking in good faith. I keep telling y'all. And why do you think I use the term sexual politics so much? Because a lot of y'all will sit there and talk to females like what they're saying is good faith, when in actuality, they're trying to sell you a product. Like, once you understand that, you don't take it that serious because you're trying to make sense out of what they do. And I said, no, they're doing what's in their own best interest. They don't care. That's female nature. That's why we tell you. But y'all be like, well, what about this? What about that? I mean, that makes sense. Of course they're gonna call it that. I mean, some of y'all be in this perpetual, like, I can't believe they doing this stuff. And it's like, at this point, you gotta live your own life, yo. Well, SWP, I mean, you know, he came up in a different era of YouTube. It ain't got nothing to do with no Kevin Stan. I mean, you're a Love Dorsey Stan. So I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I'm here. I'm not here for personalities. I'm here for points. You're here for personality. You're here because of people you like. That's not how I think. That's really what. And honestly, Smirgo, if we would have been in the Pookie and Ray Ray um classic black men wars, I mean, it would have been real obvious because you would have just been siding with your own group, and that's part of the problem. You got dudes, y'all can't think outside your own culture group. And I even had to say something with Red Supreme because I was like, when dudes constantly use the term square, I mean, Tariq C does it. It's like, yo, okay, well, if y'all gonna play that game, let's really separate. Because y'all got to be able to think past these little street dude educated lane. Y'all got to be able to think past that because that's two-dimensional thinking. That's two-dimensional thinking, and other groups know how to think outside of that. And honestly, a lot of that is low IQ shit. To be honest with you, and it's not just like Pookie's quote unquote dudes that want to claim like educated do the same thing. They do the same thing. They want to defend their own bullshit. Shout out to Man Code. Um, y'all are not really about what's right or wrong or what's accurate. Y'all really about defending what quote unquote subgroup or team y'all are on. And that's where a lot of these arguments drive from. And those arguments don't lead nowhere. They really don't. Because at the end of the day, those are emotional arguments. Shout out to Manco for the $5. Kevin hit 1 million subs is huge, especially for black men. How significant is it, Ed, in the grand scheme of things, especially as it concerns? I think it is significant because Kevin is not going to really slow down. Kevin's not showing any signs of really slowing down. Um, Also, with Kwame Brown, this is another reason why I think Kwame Brown is significant because you got these dudes that want to play that team shit. Even Kwame, Kwame's cool with Kevin. Like it's not that serious. A lot of y'all are playing that like gangbanger bullshit, and y'all need to let that go because y'all blind yourself to certain opportunities based on having that kind of tunnel vision. I deal with a variety of different type of black men as far as business and stuff. Y'all are the ones that he is square, he this, and then y'all wonder why y'all are stuck in a fucking hood mentality because y'all stay that way in the head because y'all want to. Oh, well, this is square, this is that. You mean normal? You mean normal? When y'all say shit is square, you mean normal? So y'all become anti-normal, just like these chicks. They see not having ultra niggified excitement as being boring. And y'all don't see how that shit creates a negative feedback loop. And then you got dudes on the other side of that they think black people supposed to listen to them, but they can't come off of the belittling bullshit. Kwame Brown is a very smart dude. And that's what a lot of this is. And I'm sorry. I'm beyond that bullshit. Hold on, little Cass. Here's my cash app right there. Appreciate it. I'm beyond that bullshit. Light skin, dark skin, because as you start to see more people of color come online, you starting to see it in sports. All right, see it now. Motherfuckers hating on Trae Young. If Atlanta would have beat the 76ers, motherfuckers be hating on that shit. Not understanding that Joel Embiid ain't even Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons ain't even those. I see that. All these feelings that folks want to act like they beyond or they're smarter, but they do the same shit the bitches do. Oh, I'm not dark. When your ass, when you know good and goddamn well you ain't I'm not light. I mean, knowing good and damn well, like nigga, you ain't brown skin. So what the fuck are you? I'm not saying like just shit that people like these like subconscious bullshit. And I'm like, yo, that shit is a distraction. It really is. Y'all fall in love with that shit. Yeah. And then they talk about squares. Yeah, square. I'm like, why do you even have that terminology? I'm not saying you gotta be them, but at the same time, this thing about you validate who you are by being an anti, that's a big reason why the black community is fucked. Now, am I saying that they need to belittle you? No. This is why I defend Love Dorsey. But at the same time, a lot of y'all are playing that bullshit where y'all, squares versus street dude. I'm a street nigga. And then y'all be same niggas. Well, those niggas, they need to come here and help you. Why don't you do it? It's your domain. It's a bullshit. Yeah, I ain't really seen Trae Young play like that. Yeah, Trae Young is good. I won't say Ben is overrated garbage. Ben has progressed. But Trae Young is a troop. Shout out to Good Men. What do you think of Six Convo with Anton? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't be watching all them videos. I really don't. I really don't. I mean, at the end of the day, all their like the thing and see, you know, sick like that. That's whatever. Whatever. Y'all hold on to that identity way too much. That's why a lot of y'all niggas don't be wanting to travel. Y'all start cussing niggas out for wanting to travel because of what? That's some plantation shit if I ever heard it. Niggas ain't never left their county, and then they actually talking about other niggas. Get mad about niggas talking about trap. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is some of the dumb shit that people do, and then they think because y'all get emotional and angry that means y'all put an exclamation point on that shit. That's a big reason why motherfuckers don't like Kevin, because Kevin, a lot of niggas don't like Kevin because Kevin invalidates your sense of self as a fucking street dude in a poop. Now, Kwame doesn't see it that way. And this is what's ironic. Tommy Sotomayor ain't no street dude and ain't no poop, but Tommy gets like the magical fucking, he gets the Chris Brown pass that bitches get with y'all niggas. Tommy ain't even no Pookie, but y'all will die for that nigga. Versus, and then Kwame, Kwame is cool with Kevin, and then some of y'all don't understand why. Like, it's stupid. And then y'all actually act like y'all smarter than females. No, like David Carroll said, a lot of y'all niggas are dumb. Y'all really are. And I'm not just talking about Pookies. I'm talking about educated dudes. Because educated dudes will be like, well, I don't know why. They just don't want to be square like me. They don't even know how to talk to motherfuckers. And when I say that, I don't mean they're antisocial. I mean, like, it's certain they want to be like, well, I'm right. No, I'm more in the middle. Now I'm more square than I'm not, but because I'm more conservative, but at the same, because I'm more conservative, but at the same time, I can value people. That's why you hear us see me talk about ADOS, not ADOS, because I value where people come from enough to split the lines. Exactly. Niggas, but the same street niggas will be the same niggas that will die for Tommy. That's what baffles me. I can see y'all being that way on somebody that y'all feel reflects you are. I can understand that. Same niggas. The same niggas that claim that they alphas and the squares are weak are the same niggas that do the most bitching about the hoes. Think about that. That's why they gravitate to Tommy so much. Think about that for a second. Really think about that. Shout out to Lowcast for the $5. I definitely appreciate it. Not right now. I mean, if you want to email me at Edward Anderson at 300K. Edward Anderson 300K at Gmail. I don't really do official one-on-one consultations, but if you want to look into making passive, I got something for you that you might be interested in. It may be for you, it may not be. So email me at that and I'll talk. Yeah, what's up, Toya? I mean, I'm not saying you got to have a problem with Tommy. I'm talking about Tommy gets passes. Tommy gets passes that like a lot of folks don't get. I mean, he gets a massive amount of passes. Like, motherfuckers have a blind spot on Tommy Sotomayor. It's like if Tommy do it, it don't matter. Ain't nobody was really hating on Tommy when Tommy had 700 subs and doing all this bullshit. But when Kevin starts approaching that, all this I'm angry to be angry bullshit. And the sad part about it, this is the thing that kills me, that frustrates me more than anything. A lot of the people that want to detract from Kevin, take Smurgo, for example. The algorithm validates that. All you got to do, you could, like, I even know it's all cap, but you can even say what Kevin gets wrong about marriage, what Kevin gets wrong about black men wanting to deal with, like, you could take this, make a channel, and probably get past me when it comes to subs. Kevin has created a lot of coattails for even a lot of dudes that disagree with him can actually build up channels, because it's clearly a market for guys that don't like Kevin. There's a market for that. There's a market for women, but there's definitely a market for guys too. Y'all can actually get channels and build channels just off of that. I typically don't like to do that direct clout chasing, but real talk, I definitely might decide to push this channel and increase the audience. But people don't think about that. What people do is they just want to put their little opinion out there, which fine, you have a right to do. But now if you have if you actually have a channel, that's an opportunity to grow your channel. And I mean, I'm not an expert. Look, I only got 4,000 subs, so what the fuck do I know? But what you find is dudes are not really doing that. But they're, they're just, that's how I know it ain't people really thinking on it. They just mad just to be mad. So, and that's even if you don't like Kevin. Yeah, but Smurgo, the reality is just like how fucking Pookie's fuck women that like fuck women that are not strags. Like, dude, that's stupid. BGS even said that. A lot of black people don't recognize the class thing. Again, that stay in your lane shit when it comes to bitches. Again, that's just like a white man saying stay in your lane and don't fuck our white women or a Latin dude. Like a lot of y'all niggas, y'all identify so much with that street identity that y'all can't think outside of that. And then y'all wonder why the world keeps showing you the very thing you hold on to. You all hold to that street identity like a bitch holds on to weed. Y'all don't really understand that. Y'all are subject to what that identity tells you to be. That's why you keep on telling me rappers got more influence. I don't care if you try to qualify it with black women or not. Nigga, the truth is you're more influenced by rappers because that's your identity, because that's what you grew up with. And when you understand culture, and that's your imprint. And a lot of these dudes don't understand how much of a dimension that puts them in. And in the square shit, you can say the same thing. You got to be able to think outside of that. That's why I show Love Dorsey. I show Runway Billionaire. I show dudes that they got their shit together, even though they may have tats and shit, to show you the value is universal, irregardless of what subculture subgroup you're in. But a lot of people can't fucking understand that. I don't know if it's above y'all. I don't know. But whatever. Because the world's just going to keep on spinning. Yeah, I saw that. And Simple the P wasn't even trying to start shit with Tommy. Tommy first started coming in when he started attacking SWP 2009. Absolutely. And people want to say Tommy was the first, which he's not. But whatever, because that's the excuse that people give in order to give him all this bullshit. That's the excuse for why they give him passes. Shout out to Ronald with the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Shout out to Dre. See, think about this. Think about the statement Smurgo just said. Fact of the matter is, the majority of you squares are not meant for black women anyway. So why y'all still talking about them? See, now you getting in your feelings, nigga. A community is not built on. Let me educate you for a second, Smurgo. I understand you may come from the projects. I was born in Dominguez, Compton. That's where I'm native to in 1986. You want to know what that was like? Just looking straight out of Compton, their first scene. And I didn't live in the project Chicago. Well, no, I didn't live in project Chicago because my family actually do come from a little bit of money. But I've lived adjacent to the project in Chicago. My point is, a community ain't built by its fucking rebels. I know that may be hard for some of you niggas to understand. A community is not built by their anti-rebels. And the problem is when you have this, even Tariq Nasheed talked about the origin of a lot of the street identity was really comes from the fact that every time black men try to build something, white people come in and destroy it or find a way to dismantle it. That's where a lot of that pimp street underground shit originates from. And the reality is, a lot of y'all like to play this I'm the warrior classic because y'all want to justify why y'all get pussy. And understand, so you a warrior, you're like, because to the extent, because I know you haven't said that, but I know that's the mentality. Y'all are warriors, Yet y'all bitches are swinging on y'all. But then you want to play this square versus street dude thing because that creates a juxtaposition, which is also a form of Highlander syndrome, by the way, in which y'all try to make you gotta be better than somebody because it's a way of not fucking up your own self-esteem. And this is the mindsets that a lot of y'all come with. And what y'all don't understand is y'all reinforce the very culture structures that creates the community to be fucked up as to what it is. Now, I've jumped on dudes that are square as well because they do, or quote unquote, because they do shit too. But I'm talking about you. Because understand something, that for the most part, most of this heat comes from y'all trying to say y'all better than squares, then which is also, the original squares is a lot of light-skinned dudes too. Which is, y'all, this is why people like to promote dreads and promote gold teeth and promote tats. And they want to promote this anti-culture. It's kind of like how rednecks do promoting redneckism. Thomas Sowell talked about a lot of this shit. Y'all literally promote the anti. And that's one of the things that ironically powers the gynocracy. That shit powers that in many ways. Because there's certain things in order for that to be sustainable, that only understand something. If we didn't have a gynocracy, you wouldn't have as many street dudes. Because street dudes are more of a subject of conditional, perpetual poverty. And a lot of y'all are protecting because you all, this is why I always say the statement that a lot of people want the community to improve, but they don't want it to change. Deep down, a lot of black men don't want it to change. And it's a lot of black men that you wouldn't think about. It ain't necessarily some Mike Rashid or some blue pills. A lot of y'all got to ask yourself that question. If me not existing or how I am not existing, shit, shout out to the Loki TV show. How they talk about different variants. If your variant of nigga would not exist, would you press but the black community would be more competitive? Would you press the button for that to happen? Most of you all would not. Most of you all will try to tell yourself something to find a way for somehow to try to make the community what you needed to be with you still in it. And that's why this shit don't move. And that's when you really get black people understand, okay, well, niggas ain't gonna change, so why should I even worry about it? So when you make statements like, well, you squares, dude, any competitive group has more squares in it than they have. And trust me, you can't show me any group that's better than any group that's doing better than black men is popular, even in their elite, is a whole bunch of street motherfuckers. You can't show me that. Y'all really try to act like street niggas are like the special forces or some shit. And I'm like, if that's what y'all think, then prove it by getting that bitch under control. Y'all can't even get that chick under control. That chick still use the white man on y'all. Like I said, I ain't had women sweet. Y'all talk about women. Y'all like 6 foot, 5'10" something. Y'all got women straight up swinging on y'all ass. But see, for y'all, that's compliance. That's that Cleon shit. Come on, let's get the fuck out of here. Shout out to Don Juan. Keep up the great work, my brother. One of your moderators timed me out. All right. I'll go back through the video because I'm about to end it right now. So I'll be able to come at it in the end. I'm going to review what happened. Me and my friends grew up in the hood. Shout out to $5 Don Juan. Shout out to hood in Chicago. We don't embrace the hood culture. A lot of the black men embrace hood culture, aren't even from the hood. Absolutely. You're damn right. And I'm not saying it's all of them, but there's I won't even say it's most. I won't say it's half. But there's like 20, 25%, maybe 30% now. I'd say about 20% of niggas that they embrace the hood culture because that's what they believe will get the women. And that's what drives a lot of that. That's that gynocracy shit. That's why we keep telling y'all about that self-improvement for bitches. Y'all don't understand that because that's what creates that Highlander syndrome. Now, my channel don't we have women on it like that. Yeah, we still having arguments about that shit. Oh, you squares, you this. Like, do you not understand that some of you niggas actually see a black man as a square? You all will identify with a white man before you'll identify with another black man if you don't fit your own culture group. And then you wonder why you niggas can't work together. And then you niggas want to blame the bitches. The bitches don't have, the problem is, this is the problem that shout out to Dre, but this is the problem that Dre don't account for. A lot of these bitches are in your mind. That's how close they are. So the problem is, it doesn't matter if you create a space in fucking Pluto. They still occupy rent-free rent space in your own head. Now, part of that is biology. Part of that is testosterone. But you got to be able to deal with that. But because dudes haven't had rite of passages to cut that umbilical cord, they never really do that. They become like Anakin Skywalkers, like hyper emotional, wanting to go like full Sith. And then you got dudes like Obi-Wan, who's like the ultimate square. And then they just playing defense and when you try to jump, nigga, I'm an alpha my way through it. He said, I got the high ground. Don't do it. You lost. I won it. Nigga, I'm going to alpha my way through it. Ah! And then he cuts his legs off, cuts his arm off, and then looks at him like, you dumb nigga, and walks away while you burn. And then y'all become Darth Vader, which is the hyper niggas, hyper alpha niggas. And then y'all just start doing the same thing, just in like to the max. Hope that analogy makes sense. I don't care, because the Smurgo, I get what you're trying to say, but the reality is, women are constantly throwing y'all under the bus. Who you think black women are talking about when black women talk about what men ain't doing? They talking about y'all. So clearly they're not happy with their choice. The manosphere wouldn't exist if women were fundamentally happy with who they were picking, because it ain't about you. See, the problem is this is the problem that hood dudes think. Hood dudes think y'all get picked because y'all the best nigga. And because pussy allows to serve a biological satisfaction, you all have like this subconscious link to associating sex with I'm getting pussy, so that means I'm the best nigga. No, you're able to. It's no different than niggas weren't better than dark skinned niggas in the 80s just because the bitches wanted them. Y'all niggas would agree with that. Y'all would never say, well, light skinned niggas were better up until 1993. No, you would never say that. So it's the same thing here. It's the socio-culture. When you understand how these women are imprinted, a lot of street dudes, I said this earlier in this video, a lot of street dudes are associated with chaos and that effeminate energy that a lot of them women like, because them women are masculine as fuck, and therefore they like those niggas. But guess what? They complain about those niggas as they get them. That's why they talk about shit like shit was toxic, shit was bad, look at what he did. He ain't taking his kids, he ain't doing all that. This is why they put y'all through what y'all put through in fucking child support court. You listen to that bitch that was talking to Love Dorsey, how these women are emotionally, just the hatred that's in these women. That's y'all. If anything, a lot of them bitches are indifferent on a lot of squares unless they're sexually attracted to them or unless they want something from them. But that's y'all. But see, y'all confuse that with y'all the better nigga. And I'm like, no, you all are concubines for what they want. They are lusting and they want you to satisfy that. But the truth is, they would trade y'all in for a white dude in a second. If they could get one of the better white dudes, not the bottom shelves, they would trade y'all in like y'all ain't nothing. They just don't have access to them. Y'all the best they have access to, that they think are the best for what they want. You all are fulfilling a need they want fulfilled. They're not submitting to you. This is why they had the age-old statement that black people only get along in the bedroom. Because truth be told, they're not really submitting to you. They are submitting to their lust, and you happen to be in it. This is why, as a dude, you could be a square dude, and if you know how to pay a street nigga character, you can get a bitch, because that's what that bitch is on. Just no different than if a woman is on some colorist shit in Latin America and you're a light-skinned guy and she puts you as select. That has nothing to do with you as a man. That's everything to do with what she was imprinted with. Just like black women that want white men, that doesn't mean that white man individually is better. Like that dude Alexis Ohanian ain't better than none of these other niggas. That dude Alexis Ohanian ain't better than any of the niggas Serena picked before. In no kind of way. This is why when dudes bring alpha and beta into the equation, okay, when you add white men, you know that doesn't make sense. Because physically, white men are not alpha to black men on the average. But see, these are things you all hold on to, and see, y'all got to get beyond that. That's what the point of this shit is. So you all can start creating other options for yourselves to enhance your own quality of life. because that is just as much a part of programming. I don't act like I'm like perfect. I don't act like that, but I'm telling you what I'm observing. See, the problem with me is I can check street dudes, but I can check dudes that are squares too. A lot of y'all can't. A lot of y'all like to pick your sides and y'all operate from that standpoint. I don't do that. And y'all use sex, and see, that's the problem. Y'all use sex. Look, man, I get it, but y'all use sex in order to say I'm a better man than somebody else. And at the end of the day, man, your legacy, when it comes to building a legacy, understand something. That legacy ain't gonna mean shit based on the bitches you put your dick into. It really ain't. Long story short, that's like a dude. Y'all. A lot of y'all get that wrong, and y'all put that, and that's you putting the bitch over everything. Y'all self esteem is predicated to the bitch. That's why everybody always comes back. Sorry to sound like Grinch now. This is why all y'all always come back to what the bitch is or is not doing, because that's the only stock that really counts. That's the primary stock by which you all measure your manhood. And females are a product. Females are a byproduct. They are not the thing. This is why you got dudes talking about, yeah, man, I got into this business or that business because this is what the bitches want. Nigga, you're making life choices based on a bitch that you ain't even met yet. Anyway, appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it, y'all. Um, man, well, and so y'all judge dudes that, we need to have conversations with women. No, man, we're trying to facilitate the conversation, not necessarily trying to have conversation with women, but y'all don't really understand that. So y'all try to enforce that kind of mental code onto us. Again, this is why when BGS did BGS for women, dudes were literally starting to turn on BGS. The anger and hatred for that shit's crazy. And y'all really got to check yourselves on that. Shout out to Shane Vicious. As long as they follow the black biz, they are lost anyway. It don't matter, black, white, otherwise. Alexis is using Serena's money to buy up other tech companies. He wouldn't have been able to if he wasn't with her. I believe that, Mike. I absolutely believe that, because that's how them dudes think. And what's gonna happen is he'll have to split when he leaves her, but he's still gonna have more. Like that's how they think. Absolutely, Mike. Well, that's her telling herself what she want to hear, and a lot of y'all got to discern from when people are bullshit. That's what I like about that Loki TV show, when they got Owen Wilson's character basically say, "Oh, he's lying," because Loki really be believing his bullshit, or he be believing everybody be believing his bullshit, because usually his bullshit sells. Anyway, y'all, I've been out here for a minute. Quite frankly, I don't like that term pick me. I don't like the term square, because really square is a divisive word. When people use squares, they're using it from a divisive term. They're not using it as a way to say, okay, regular black men, even average dude. That's why I'm gonna start saying solid dude. Terminology, language matters. And a lot of y'all be having intentions behind what y'all be saying, and y'all think folks just supposed to let that shit slide and not call that out. Because a lot of y'all don't even know why y'all do what y'all do. Yeah, man, these squares. When you call a dude a square, what you're doing is you're really trying to tell yourself the street life is the life. That is what the real life is. When your shit is only a byproduct on an oppressive system. You exist as a variant because they keep fucking dismantling our shit. But you're not what the norm is supposed to be. And what happens is you start driving people to be like you, because you need to defend who you are. I'm not talking about Sparkle, I'm talking about this shit in general. We've already had these conversations. And then when we have them, niggas get emotional as hell. And again, this is, but these will be the same dudes that are trying to say, well, the community needs to be better. No, they want the community better around them. The problem is that's not a community that fucking exists. Anyway, with that being said, this is Edward. I'm signing out.